Yes, I definitely do if they find out what is needed to do the job. Consequently, they read about so-and-so getting to the big leagues in a hurry, like a lot of people. Let's take a Colfax. They think that he was always successful. Most people seem to forget that he spent 6 years on the major league bench in the major leagues with just an average record. But he had to have patience, and he had to have desire and dedication, and he had to have somebody with a motivating force to inspire him to continue to go on, because I'm sure during this time he had some heartbreaks, and probably like all ball players, he was quitting maybe every 3 or 4 months and wanting to go into something else. But the youngsters today, they have just as much patience as the old-timers did. In fact, I think they feel that they have to work harder because people expect more of them for some reason now, because I would say they're put on the spot more. In the old days, you could make this mistake and that mistake, and it was overlooked. But now, with the way the farm system is geared, the limited teams that we have in each team in the field, we've got to have production. We can't sometimes take this patient, but I somehow or another feel that you, even I as a manager, have to have this patient, and we're too quick to judge sometimes, and the boy really doesn't get the chance.
What you're saying is, from the manager's standpoint, we sitting in the fans, you know, see a mistake that you as a manager might make on a hit-and-run situation or something like that. But managing is really deeper than that, isn't it? It's the psychology that you must be a psychologist as well as a coach with the players.
I try to be, and the one thing that I feel that is necessary as a manager to inspire my players is to give them self-confidence. Just because you make a mistake or you don't do the job this particular time, we can't quit. We have to bring this out of you. You have to get experience. The only way you get experience is by doing. If you do it once and you fail, well, that doesn't mean that you can't do the job. That's my feeling. Too many people want quick results, even from their own selves. But you get them to accept this patient idea. I know we had a boy last year in particular, wanted him to try to hit the ball to the right side. Well, then we had to go through a period where this is all he tried to do. And then we said, well, now let's go back to pulling the ball a little bit so that we can divide it up. And let's just hit to all fields. Well, first he has to learn one step at a time. And so you go through that pain with him in the next one, and then all of a sudden it just seems to fall in place, and he becomes a pretty good ball player. Pitchers, you know, they say, well, this pitcher's got a great variety of stuff. Well, first of all, you have to learn to be able to control one pitch before you can be any good at all. And this is a hard thing sometimes to teach a pitcher, because he's brought up with the idea, well, you got to have a fastball, a curveball, a changeup, a screwball. Well, how can you specialize in 4 pitches when you can't specialize in one? I mean, that's what it amounts to. So you take one step at a time.
You certainly have a wonderful philosophy, and you express yourself well, incidentally, and I understand you spent a couple of years behind a microphone in Denver.
Well, I did,
baseball.
Tom, I did, and I enjoyed it. That was quite a challenge, as I spoke to you earlier, and I just enjoy it. Baseball is my life, it's my career. Anything that I have learned over the years, I try to give to somebody else so that they can be better.
And you've done all work also in public relations. Baseball needs lots of that today, don't they?
Well, I believe so, and I think we've got some good people coming up, and once again, if the people have patience in us and our club, I'm not predicting anything. I have never been one that predict. But I will say this, if they have patience, we might not win all the ball games. We're going to be trying. But if they'll go along with us, they'll see hustle, desire, spirit. And I feel that if the fan sees us, he's paying his $1 or $2 to come out to the game to see something different. This is what we're going to give him. And plenty of excitement. As I say, we won't always win, but we'll be trying.
Now, I imagine that hustle is something that comes with an individual a lot of times. Perhaps it can be developed. But what do you say to an individual who doesn't hustle for you?
Well, I feel hustle is this way. You try to find 2 or 3 people, like say a Pete Rose, that has this natural born desire to be a hustler. And then it takes his effort also to pass this along to somebody else. It's easy for, hustle comes easy for Pete Rose, perhaps, because he was brought up this way. But I feel this way, that if I had a good night tonight and you had a bad night, it's easy for me to go out high. But I try to teach, well, walk over and tell Tom, well, it's your turn tomorrow night. You're going to pick us up tomorrow night, and get this feeling ignited. And once this starts, this takes time sometimes. Maybe you never accomplish it, but